In this video, we're going to look at how to convert more leads into customers in 2 simple steps. So you've got leads coming in, you're talking to people, but they're not buying. So how do we deal with that? What do we do? There's 2 main areas that we need to look at. The first one is to remove uncertainty. Remove uncertainty from the equation. As buyers, as humans, we don't like the unknown. We don't like risk, things like that. So there's a couple of things we can do here. The first one is use social proof, which is the fancy term for case studies, testimonials, feedback, etc. Are you collecting social proof? Do you have reviews? Do you have a Trustpilot? Things like that. The more reviews you have, the higher that average star rating, the better you're going to do. And you know this is true because when you're buying things, you're looking for a high number of reviews, a high star rating. The same is true of your buyers, but are you focusing on it? So removing the uncertainty by proving that you can do what you can do, showing evidence of people that have benefited from your product or service, that's a foundational first step. Next up is to make people feel like you know what you're talking about and reassuring them. And we do this through talking about how our process works. Either that's how we made our product and how our product is used and how it works, or if it's a service, this is how our process of working is. This is our approach to solving certain things. If you can name that process, even better. The name itself doesn't really even matter too much, but if you have a named process of working, that's really reassuring for me as a buyer. It eliminates some of the unknowns. Next up, we have defining the problem that your buyer faces. It was said, and I don't know who said this, so I can't quote them, but it's been said that your ability to articulate the problem that you solve implies your ability to solve that problem. So if you've ever been in the position where you've gone to somebody for help, they've told you more about the problem than you know, you think, hang on a minute, they get this, they understand this, that implies they can do it. So this, again, removes the uncertainty, which builds trust. And on the same kind of line, we can talk about what causes the problem. So this is the problem that you've got. It's actually probably come about because of this, if I'm right, etc., etc. And the conversation can go on. But throughout this, we're talking about removing uncertainty. That's what we need to do. So that's step 1. Step 2 is then removing friction, being easier to buy from. And there's literally like 100+ different ways to be easier to buy from. A couple of notable ones here are having your next steps set aside there. So I've worked with so many people over the years where somebody's said, yeah, I'd like to buy from you, and it's obvious that they haven't sold too much too often. They go, okay, let's do this, let's do that. If you have a really clear, great, if you'd like to sign up, this is what we do. We have a call, we have this, we pay this deposit, blah, blah, blah. Tell them what the next steps are, make it clear, make it obvious. Again, going back to point 1, it removes some of the uncertainty for people, but it makes them feel comfortable that you've done this before and the path ahead for them is clear. Then number of clicks. Obviously Amazon pioneer kind of one-click ordering, but how hard is it for me to actually buy from you? So I'm using clicks as the example here, but it could be, do I have to phone you? Have I got to fill out a form? Can we reduce the number of things that go on that form? How can we reduce the number of clicks, the amount of information that you're requesting to remove the friction from me buying from you? And then the final one is offering guarantees, obviously. If you want to remove the unknowns of people and be easier to buy from, then providing guarantees and things like that, very, very useful. One of the best ones that I found, and this obviously works more for service-based businesses like my own business, is what I call an until guarantee. So rather than saying, I'll help you make £50 million in 27 minutes, I say, look, this is what we're going to do for you, and we'll work with you until you get there. Because from my experience, people don't want refunds. They don't necessarily want a money back guarantee because they want their money back. They want the result. That's what they're actually looking for. They want the result that they're paying for. So an until guarantee for me as a B2B service business is one of the best ones. So there you have it. 2 ways to close more leads, turn more leads into customers. We reduce the unknowns, remove the unknowns from the equation by talking about the problem that you solve. And we're just trying to reassure our buyer that we know exactly what we're talking about. And then secondly, being easier to buy from. So removing friction in terms of number of clicks, amount of information required, what the next steps are when they buy. Now, if you need help with conversion and closing more people, in the description below is a link to my conversion playlist here on YouTube, so you can check out some more videos there. And I've also got an online course, very simple online course, which has over 200 different ways to convert clients, convert leads, bring them to sale. We've covered 5 or 6 here. There's over 200 different ways to do it. That's it for this one. Appreciate your time. I'll see you in the next video.